Welcome to Glendale, Arizona, and the playoff quarterfinals for the college football playoff. We are through the first round, and the campus games were success. And we got a good matchup for you today. We got the 7th seed Louisville Cardinals coming off the big win against Boise State at their home stadium against the 1 seed Georgia Bulldogs here in the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl in Glendale, Arizona. Now, it's just like it was when it was 4 teams. You must win to move on. This is going to be a little challenge for Louisville, though, because Georgia is not an easy school to beat. They're really not. Louisville was up for the challenge against Boise State last week. Boise State got the first touchdown in the game and didn't score again after that. They lost 7-99 to Louisville. Louisville with the big win there, hoping that builds momentum into this game because they're not on college campus. They are instead the road team in this game because Georgia has had the first round bye, so Georgia hosts this game. And the Bulldogs going to kick off first, so Louisville looking to see what they can do. Here is a fair catch called. So we will not see a return. And Redmond, the tight end, he had something to do with the success Louisville had last week. There we go. Snap. Short pass to Redmond. And nice play there. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Show put on a show against Boise State last week at home. And now he's looking to get his team to the semifinals to have a shot to play for a national title. You have to win this game and next game to get to the big game. And if you want the title, you have to win the Natty, obviously. So that's a first down. Great start for the Cards here. And a little miscommunication there on the fake play, so that's a big loss. 2nd and 19, back at their own 30. Mistakes like that is not something you're going to get away with against the Bulldogs, as Isaac Brown could only get 4 yards back, so it's 3rd and 15. And he's hit as he throws it, so it's incomplete. All right, so they had a great start until they didn't. Now, your best option here, since you're going up against the Bulldogs, punt the ball. Don't go for it and turn it over on downs at your own 33-yard line. And it'll be 1st down and 10 at their own 46 for Georgia. Carson Beck, real life, he has just announced that he will be going to the NFL draft next season. So this is his last season. He is looking to go pro. That's a bad play by Carson. And Louisville ends up with the ball 1st and 10 at the opponent 46. I'm not sure. Maybe he thought the guy was open and he just threw it over there. That's not really something you see Carson Beck do every day. Isaac Brown, gain of 2 on the play, 2nd and 8. He was another one of the guys. He actually played a really large part in Louisville's win in the first round against Boise State. That is dropped. He had it for a minute and then he dropped it. You are a 1st down away from at least getting into field goal range, so you kind of got to have it here. And that's a nice play over the middle, deep into field goal range for Lacey for Louisville. And this is what you got to do when you're playing a school like Georgia. You got to take advantage of mistakes. Carson Beck obviously threw the 1-play interception there. You got to take advantage of that. Also, an update on the Penn State Central Michigan game. CMU owns Penn State. They beat them again. They blow them out again. 52-6 was the final in that game. Bad game for the Nittany Lions overall. Multiple turnovers, and that's what kills you in these games. And incomplete. Now, normally I would say go for it, but I think I would just, to the left. You should have gone for it because now you don't get a score. It's another drive that stalls out for them. That you cannot be doing that. You got to score points. That should have easily been 3 points there. Especially because you don't know if Carson Beck's going to make a mistake like that again. He's going to launch one deep downfield. That is caught. And that is, he falls. He stumbles and falls inside the 5. Still a huge play there, though. And that is not what you want to happen after you miss the field goal. So 2 stalled drives for Louisville, 1 for Georgia. Gonna flip it out to his halfback. Oh, it's blown up. Great play by the Cards there. Those are the kind of plays you need. You realize that you just gave up a big play. They're now down inside their 5. Force them to kick a field goal. Going to the right side and denied the touchdown. Gain of 2, though, still. Looking, gonna throw out to his halfback, and he didn't get there. We're going to see what Georgia does now. Looks like they're going to attempt a 19-yard field goal. And just like Louisville's, theirs is no good. He just barely missed it. Alright, so now if you're the Cardinals and Bulldogs, you just watch your kickers miss easy field goals. Do you go for it in that scenario from now on? At least until they get a little bit more time to practice on the sideline? All right, so we had to take a short break, but we are back. So 2nd and 8 from their own 22 for Louisville. Goes out to his halfback, Isaac Brown, and he drops it. It's incomplete. 3rd and 8. And so far, we're noticing the problem with Louisville is they're having some good plays. It's not, not getting the good plays. It's the fact that they're being given opportunities by Georgia, and they're not capitalizing on it. They're going to go for it this time. I don't blame them, but you could say it's too early, but I don't blame them for wanting to go for it here. And denied. That is one of those things where you don't blame them for doing it because, it's short, but at the same time, you're on your own side of the field, and you just gave it to Georgia. However, though, the defense, let's pause this for a minute. Actually, you know what? We'll have the Bulldogs call a timeout. Bulldogs call a timeout. But let's talk about this for a little bit. So they get the timeout, both teams get to relax. The defense has heated up for Louisville. They allowed a big pass from Carson Beck inside the 5 and did not allow Georgia to score the touchdown. And that resulted in a missed field goal try from Georgia. So you got to use that to your advantage, and so far Louisville's not able to do that. But look at Georgia. I mean, they're not using Louisville to their advantage either. Louisville has failed to score points on each of their drives, and Georgia can't score anything. They're doing these short passes. Maybe they're just trying not to force it in there too early, right? Because it's still the first quarter. The score can be 0-0 at the end of the first quarter. But if it's 0-0 at halftime, then that's just good defense or a problem. Short play to his halfback. This should be a first down. It is not. He is denied. And they're going to go for this. This is the better place to go for it at. I really don't blame Georgia for doing this. To the end zone, and he threw an interception. It's his second of the game. This time, though, that interception was a little better than his first one. And that might sound a little crazy saying, what are you talking about, a better interception? No interception's better. But his first interception, it's like he just choked. Like his mind wasn't even there in the game. He just threw it right to the defender. That time, at least, I mean, sure, it went right to the defender, but at least it was a more realistic interception, I gotta say. Like, and that's another thing like we talked about. You can afford stuff like that early, right? It's only the first quarter. You probably don't want it to be 0-0 at halftime. So just use the first quarter and be like, okay, let's figure out the team first. Let's figure out where their weaknesses are. As, you see, Georgia's defense is heating up. Both defenses are elite. They're stopping players where they need to stop them. And especially the Louisville defense for intercepting back in the end zone. And that's a hit on the quarterback, and this is going to force a punt. Fourth and 14. No, they're going to stay out there and go for it. Did they not learn their lesson last time, or do they see something we don't? They saw something we don't. What a big play on 4th. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? What is that play? First down, Cardinals. Isaac Brown is stuffed. They watched film last week. You can tell that right now. Isaac Brown ran all over Boise State, and Georgia is denying him left to right. After that game last week, Isaac Brown probably got a lot of numbers on campus, but right now, probably not going to be getting too many. It is 4th and 1. I would say go for it here. This is the spot to go for it, right? This would be their second. If they fail it this time, this would be their second attempt. And Isaac Brown got it, just barely. The judge ruled it. He definitely was going to be stopped there for a minute. He ran into his own teammate. He definitely was going to be stopped there. But what a reception for Isaac Brown. He hasn't had a bad reception in this game at all. And it's not that he's running the ball bad. It's just the fact that Georgia's defense is so good that they're saying no. And Cheney, another guy who was, I don't know how to say it, word it, but he was a part of that big win over Boise State as well. He gets a nice play there for a first down. Isaac Brown going to get another reception from Show. That's what we meant to say. 2nd and 6. They're going to go to Isaac Brown again. Another gain, or this time a gain of 3, so 3rd down and 3 coming up. I'm liking these short passes to the halfback. If they're working like that, I'm going to keep doing them. Oh, nice short pass to the receiver. Is it the first touchdown of the game? No, he's just stopped. 2nd and goal. Show to Isaac Brown into the end zone. Touchdown, Louisville. And finally, Louisville has a drive that works for them. And this is what we were talking about. This is what we wanted to see a team do. We wanted to see a team use a turnover to their advantage. Now, though, you got your kicker out there. You got to, hopefully the coach waked him up enough, and he did. He gets the PAT. But you're going to have to wake your kicker up throughout the game. Both the Bulldogs and Cardinals are going to have to do that. They both have missed field goals. I don't care how they do it. If the kicking coach has to literally scream, "Wake up, get moving," scream it, because your kicker could be how you win this game. This game could be 28-28 in the 4th with 3 seconds to go, and somebody calls a timeout to get a shot at a game-winning kick. You don't want to go to overtime when you want a shot to win. I mean, overtime would be great because at least you didn't lose, but you don't want that to happen when you could win the game. Going to, who was it? Lovett, I believe. And that was incomplete. That was a good play by Louisville, too, because they didn't let that fool them. Back, going for Lovett again. This time it's knocked away. All right, now this is, I think, where you go a short pass here. Make it 4th and short, then go for it. That's exactly what they're going to do. And it's 4th and 2, and now I'm leaving your offense out there. I don't care that you're on your own side of the field. This is a little bit more doable. And that's exactly what they do. They leave their offense out there. Going to ETN, Travis's younger brother, and he gets the first down for the Bulldogs. That was Trevor, the younger brother of Travis. Oh, I bet you Beck is glad he did not hand that one off. That was a nice defensive play to be ready for that. He fakes the handoff, but they thought he had the handoff done, and even if he would have handed it off, they would have been ready for it. Now look at the Bulldogs moving the ball. Maybe a touchdown was what was needed to get the game going in the right direction, hurdling a defender. Less than a minute to go in the opening quarter of the game, and hit and sacked. Great defensive play there. 3rd and 15 coming up, and this should be knocked them out of field goal range. So they're gonna more than likely have to. Oh, it's intercepted! He got hit and threw an interception, and it's going all the way back. Trevor Etienne can't catch him. It's a touchdown. Pick 6, 59 yards for Perry for Louisville. These Cards have come to play a football game in back-to-back weeks so far. And the fans are distraught. They can't believe it, man. What's going on with Beck? That one, I would say, is not really his fault. I mean, he got hit, and unfortunately, as he was getting hit, he released the ball. He released the ball, then he got hit. At that point, you really can't control where the ball goes. And it went right to Louisville's hands. But what Kirby Smart's not going to like is, you know, the fact that only, you know, Trevor attempted to run him down, right? I mean, you know, you want your offense to get on that. You know, essentially, your offense has to play defense then. They have to get the stop. I mean, obviously, Louisville's going to have the ball either way, regardless if they score the touchdown or not. But you have to turn into defense there. Back out after the interception. They're now down 14-0 and denied. That's the same guy who intercepted back on the previous drive. One final snap before the end of the first quarter, and he's stopped again. As the first quarter comes to an end, 14-0, all Cards here in the Fiesta Bowl, looking to punch their ticket to the semifinals. And look at this, though. The passing yards already over 100, but -2 rushing yards for the Bulldogs. The Cards are giving them a run for their money, and that is what you got to do against a good team like Georgia. Got to get it out. He does. And incomplete flag on the play. That's probably going to work in Georgia's favor. It is defensive PI, so they get the ball on their own 39. That is where the foul was committed. When a pass interference is called, it is where the foul is committed. Trevor Etienne, gain of 3. Beck looking, gonna go to Trevor Etienne, and he dropped it. It was knocked out also. I believe it was knocked out. Gets it out quick as there's a defender there and fires incomplete. 4th and 7. That time, Louisville forces a punt. The first one of this game so far for Georgia. And there is a short return to his own 19. That's where Louisville will take over 1st and 10. Isaac Brown, he had the touchdown last time out on offense, for Louisville. And then Louisville's defense decided, you know what? It's the season of giving. Why don't we match that touchdown? Isaac Brown to the outside. Look out. Gain of 6. This is the Isaac Brown we saw in that game against Boise State in the first round. To the outside again. He's dangerous when he gets out there. Trying to hurdle defenders, and he's knocked out of bounds. He's already got 50 yards racked up on the ground, rushing-wise. Hand this off to Cheney, the other halfback. He's only going to get a gain of 1 that time. 2nd and 9. And I like the fact that Louis is running the ball here a little bit. It is definitely not bad for the Cardinals to run the ball. Now, this is what's got to happen, though. Once Georgia gets used to the fact that you're going to run the ball, especially with Isaac Brown, then that is when you should automatically start planning passing plays that you could sneak past them. And against a team like Georgia, as they're going to go for it on 4th down here, you want short passes. Not anything crazy. He got the first down. QB sneak. But what we were saying is not anything crazy to where you're going to throw it in the double coverage and have it picked off. Just short passes as Isaac Brown on the ground again, gain of 2. All right, now here's where I would pass it here, just because they're gonna be used to the fact that Isaac Brown is gonna run it, and probably should have ran it. That's a sack. Now you're gonna have to pass it. It's 3rd and 14. You gotta pass it to try to rack up as many yards back as you can to potentially go for it on 4th. And dropped, and I would punt if I'm Louisville here. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Tries to hurdle, knocked to the turf. And that is incomplete. Great defense there by Louisville. Well, later tonight, around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Fox Tube TV, we have another playoff quarterfinal game for you. And it is number 6, Central Michigan, who is still undefeated, obviously, after beating Penn State in the first round of the playoff. Taking on UCF. UCF was one of the teams that received the first round bye. The Knights have been hot all season long, but so have the Chips. The Chips have been fired up. What team is going to be more fired up going into that game? I would say, honestly, if I'm UCF, I would be scared of CMU right now. They blew out Penn State for the 2nd time this season last week in the playoffs. 52-6 was the final. 2 field goals. That is all the Chips allowed out of Penn State. Oh, nice play there for Georgia. And it racks up an easy first down downfield. Points are going to be crucial here in this first half. Back trying to escape and fires incomplete. He got hit as he threw it again. This time it falls to the ground, thankfully. You don't want another pick 6. And maybe it will take a half for this Georgia offense to pull through. We've seen some mistakes that you can afford to do right now, but in that second half you can't afford to do. Oh, did he catch that? He did, but he didn't because it's out of bounds. He caught it where it won't count as a catch. Oh, they're ruling that a touchdown. If I'm Louisville, I would challenge that. I don't think he was in bounds. And you're going to have to call a timeout in order to do so, which would leave you with 1 remaining for the rest of the half if you lose this challenge. And they can't challenge it. Man, I don't know about that one. We'll have to take a look at that one. Alright, so we're going to go back here. Watch his feet right there. Wait. Oh, that is really close. Are they, because remember, you only need 1 leg down in college. Are they say, is it a toe drag? Is that what they're saying? It is a toe drag. His foot is in. That is a touchdown for the Bulldogs. What an insane play from Georgia. That's gotta be a highlight. And flag on the play. PAT is going to be good anyway. It's not going to matter. They could accept or decline the penalty, and it's going to be no matter what. I'm not sure why it says they only have 1 point and why Louisville only has 13. But the game clearly itself is not working. But I got to get a video clip of that, man. We're going to do last 3 minutes, because we can always clip it. But that is just the craziest touchdown we've seen all season long. A toe drag TD, 1 toe drag TD. Because like we said, you only need 1 foot down inbounds for it to be ruled a catch. I'm kind of glad that, you know, we have as good quality cameras in this stadium as we do. That to me really did not look like a catch.
I need 16 ounces of it. Okay, can you go see if they have that, please?
Absolora may cause serious lung infections, certain cancers, immune system problems, blood clots, and low blood cell counts. Major cardiovascular events or death occurred in those 50 plus taking oral JAK inhibitors. The most common side effect was the common cold.
Ask your eczema specialist about reducing itch fast with Absolora. Relief reimagined.
Okay.
We have 96 hours to build a house.
And I need 2 cups. It should be in a bag. Please try and find it. It's fine. I'm not. Okay,
It's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony, as music's highest honor goes to this year's inductees, with performances by today's biggest
I need 1
stars.
cup.
Thank you so much.
A
The
bag.
2024 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony, New Year's Day, 8/7 Central on ABC.
Tire Man.
Give me a sec. We will be back soon. Alright, sorry about that, guys. If you're still here, we are finally back. Alright, so Louisville is backed up to their own end zone here. And you gotta snap the ball because you don't want a penalty here. That's gonna definitely be a safety. And spinning out of the tackle. What is that play? That was close to being disastrous. Too close. Show to Isaac Brown to the outside. He's dangerous on that outside run. And the freshman shows why. Yet again. Alright, so if you're Louisville, you're ahead. I'm not... Oh, right as we were going to say, I'm not going to do anything too dangerous. Oh, he fumbled the ball. They knocked it out of his hands. So they avoid a costly turnover. I mean, it's still costly because it's still a turnover, right? That could definitely still change the outcome of the game just because it didn't right there. But what a play there by Louisville to knock that one right back out. And that's incomplete. So they knock it right back out. They recover it right back. Take the ball right back. And that gives them, I think, a few yards for cushion, too. Because they were backed up all the way to their end zone as Isaac Brown rushes for a gain of 3 there. So they got a little cushion. Like we said, try not to do anything too costly. Nice play out there. I'm just honestly going to run it, throw short passes, try not to throw another pick. And I'm just going to run this thing down to halftime and then, go to the locker room, figure out, okay, so far this is where we're at. How do we improve? How do we stop Georgia from making a play? Because assuming, let's say they come back out and nobody can score a touchdown. And it stays like this or potentially more points as there's a nice run by Shaney there. How do we hold them? Any scenario, you might have to hold them. How do you do that? That's going to be the question that these two teams are going to ask in the locker room. Because Louisville coming out here, right? Defensive touchdown, offensive touchdown, potentially more points here if they can get something going. How do you slow down Louisville if you're Georgia, and how do you hold them? And if you're Louisville, how do you hold Georgia if you have to? Well, I'm telling you right now, I'm getting as many yards as I can right here, and then I'm going for it on 4th. Oh, they got in the way and he lost yards. It's 4th and 9. Are you kidding me right now? Big play incoming. That's intercepted. Georgia gets another takeaway. And that was probably a little too deep. Again, it's a play like what we said. You can't really afford to do that. But also, when the teammate doesn't move and you lose 3 yards on a 3rd down run, what do? You got to try to at least get the 1st down. And when nobody is just across the line to gain, to where you can just throw an easy pass to him as he throws that, then sometimes you got to take those deep shots downfield, right? Because that play right there, he could have easily had the defender if that other defender wouldn't have came in and took the ball away. And hit again. They have sacked him again. And I would imagine if you're Georgia, I'm just punting here. You're down 1 score. You just stopped Louisville with a takeaway. I'm gonna punt, and that's what they do. Now, if you're Louisville, again, you got to be more careful with the ball. That time, I get it, man. Throw it as deep as you can to try to get the 1st down because there was nobody there just across the line to gain, But now, if you get in a scenario where there's somebody for at least, maybe inside the line to gain, but they can cut out to gain the 1st down. I'm doing that. I'm not going to do anything that's going to potentially set me up for failure. And, injury timeout for 78. That is, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but we will step aside for a few seconds. All right, back here in Glendale, Arizona. Now, these two teams playing each other, they will play to go to the Cotton Bowl. Shaney fights off one defender, but can only get back to the line of scrimmage. And it was Stackhouse, or his last name. I'm not sure how to pronounce his first name, though. 3rd and 7. You got to go to the air here, I imagine. And he can't. There's nobody to throw to. So now you got to punt. Nobody open. UGA's defense is stepping up. But also, take a look at the Louisville defense. They stopped him, forced him to punt, and that's exactly what Georgia did to Louisville. I think, honestly, if at this point the game might stay like this if the defenses continue to play this well. So now you gotta start talking about how to hold them. And if you're Georgia, you gotta be talking about how to find the end zone to tie the game up. So you at least go to OT, and he's gonna get hit as he threw it again. Looked like he was getting ready to throw it there, but obviously not enough cushion. Coming up on the 2-minute warning. And hit as he threw it that time, 4th and 15, and now you got to punt again. So the last 3 drives for both teams, punt, punt, and punt. Calls the fair catch. And see, the thing about the Cardinals is they start off good on the drive, and then something happens to where they stall. It's kind of like the beginning of the game where they couldn't score, right? And then they finally did. I think that was caught. No, it was dropped, they say. But they couldn't score, and then they finally did. Nice play there. That's what you need right there. Then if you don't convert, maybe if you go for another pass and you don't convert it here, then you could go for a 4th and short run. And look at that, easily able to convert that. That's exactly what they needed on that 4th and 9 drive. They just needed somebody to get just across the line to gain. You could get the ball, hopefully have enough time to get the ball out to them and pick up the first down. Instead, they had to throw it deep, and it got picked off near the end zone. I'm going short pass here again, because you at least want a field goal out of this drive if it stalls out. The thing to think about, though, is their kicker. He missed some field goals early, and this is going to take it well into range. 77 seconds. Oh, no, yeah, it was 60. 69 seconds. And Shaney for the first down near the goal line. I'm going QB sneak here. I'm going that one play they did earlier. Can they get it in for a touchdown? Show. Got the snap. And he's denied. All right. So here's the deal. They're gonna call their second timeout here to discuss this. I think you're gonna have to hand this off. You're gonna have to run this across. And if you can't run it across, then you're going to have to hope you can set up for a nice passing play. But you're going to have to do it quick. And they're going to call their last timeout. All right, so now do you go to coach's plays here? I think you do. And look at that! A reception touchdown for Lacey in back-to-back games. And they go back up, well, as of right now, 13, pending the extra point. That will put them up 14. Lacey, the senior, nice catch there. And honestly, I like the fact that run kind of went 2 yards backwards for them. Because when you're on the 1 yard line like that, and you try the QB sneak, and they stop the QB sneak, Usually if you have to pass from your 1, you have seconds, and I mean seconds, as they do go back up 14, 21-7, to get rid of the ball before the defenders are there. So either you're going to have to get out of the pocket as fast as possible and try to run it in yourself, or try to get out of the pocket and pass it as quick as possible. And there was just, honestly, against a team like Georgia, I don't think there was any way they were going to be able to do that. So at that point in time, you know, you take the 2-yard loss, and then you throw a short pass over the middle for the easy touchdown. Back fakes the handoff to Etienne, though. And there's an open receiver for the first down. And if you're Georgia, I wouldn't even worry here, honestly. You still got the whole second half. I would just play this drive as smart as you possibly could, as that's knocked away and incomplete, and just try to get out of the, escape the half with maybe a field goal, or at least you're down 14, and just 14 as of right now. If you can't get any points here, I would just let this run to half, honestly. Yeah, it's usually when you start calling your timeouts and starting to be like, okay, guys, we got 2 timeouts left. We're going to have to start getting big plays, where you make a mistake, and that could result in a pick 6 or more points for Louisville's way. Instead, you just run it out there. Oh, they're going to do one more play. Okay, that's not bad, I guess. But, you know, then that could set things up for Louisville. And all Louisville needs is to hope somebody gets down before time expires in this half, which it's not gonna. That's knocked away, so we reached halftime here. Louisville up 21-7 on the 1-seed Bulldogs. Can they hold on to punch their ticket to the Cotton Bowl? That would put them 1 game away from the national championship. As you see the offensive mistakes as we take you to Orlando. All right, thank you, guys. Who is ready for a second half of football? Georgia will receive the second half kickoff. And, I mean, they could have scored there. It would have made it a 1-score game receiving the second half kickoff. But it doesn't really make a difference that they didn't, because they still got 19 minutes and 58 seconds to play in regulation to try to get 2 touchdowns to come back and win this game. And fun fact for you, if UCF does not win tonight against Central Michigan, and Louisville beats Georgia, Louisville would be the home team in the Cotton Bowl. Home team's looking decent right now in the playoff. They have more wins than losses. UConn got the win, Central got the win, Louisville got the win. James Madison was the only road team to win in the first round of the playoff. As that brings up 2nd and 3. So, home teams would still have a winning record, depending on how the rest of the games go, as that's 3rd and 3. And I like that call for a short pass there, because you'll be amazed what you can do with a short pass. No need to throw it downfield and risk an interception. Just throw a nice short pass there. And this time he's going to chuck it downfield. And it's... Whoa, he blew up the play at the last second. And just 59 seconds have been played in this third quarter, and we already see a punt. Alright, so we know Louisville attacks the ground. That is one thing I hope the Bulldogs found out during halftime and seen, because they got to go back to stopping them. They were doing so good at making sure Isaac Brown got no yards on the ground, essentially. Or not that many yards on the ground, and they've been allowing him to go off lately. That time they only allowed him to get 1, but this time they're going to allow him to get 6. 3rd and 3, you can't afford a play like that. Hand it off to Isaac Brown again. He's fighting for those extra yards. Can't get it. 4th and 3. So now I'm imagining you go short pass here, right? Do a nice short pass. Pick up the first down. And no! They stopped him on 4th down. Hurdles one defender and is quickly brought down. Georgia is going for these touchdowns. You can tell. They're going for these touchdowns they need. They don't care about 3 points. And taking a shot to the end zone and knocked away. Alright, that didn't work on 2nd down, so I'm probably not going to try a deep shot like that on 3rd down again if you're Georgia, right? Because you try it, it doesn't work the first time. The next time, it could be an interception. And he's going to get hit as he releases it. They rule it an incomplete pass, and they decide to send out their kicker to attempt a 53-yard field goal. It is up. It is just to the right and no good. And Louisville likes to see the fact that they went for the field goal instead of the touchdown, or instead of trying to go for it on 4th and get the touchdown, because now that puts them in a good spot in field position-wise. I'm telling you what, if you're Louisville, keep attacking the ground. Once they get used to that, then start going to the air. Like, nice passes like that. That is how you beat Georgia right there. That is how you knock the Bulldogs out of the playoff right there. Do what you did against Boise State. Ashton Giannetti, or that was completely wrong. But whatever his last name is, Ashton. You know, you locked him up. You blew him up every drive. Do that to Georgia. Not just their halfback. Do that to their whole team. As look at this nice run there for the first down. And plays like that, I mean, crazy, nice short plays, not crazy. Nice short plays like that is what you need, right? You don't have to throw the craziest touchdown pass like Carson Beck did to get them on the board. You just have to do short plays, and guess what? They might take it to the house. They're going to give this to Isaac Brown, 3rd and 8. The quarterback could have ran it. I'm surprised he didn't. There was a nice chance he picked up the first down there if he ran it. And he tries to take off, and it's batted down. I'm telling you what, I'm taking the field goal here. The worst that can happen is you miss it like Georgia did. But they don't. They don't. They get their first field goal of the game. And the Cards extend their lead. And that's another way you can beat Georgia. Realizing when to just take the points. You don't need to go for it there. You're ahead 2 scores already. Just make it, either score will make it a 3-score game. Just take the 3 points, kick it off. Hopefully you get another stop. And go about it that way. And there's a fumble recovered by Louisville. He tried to hurdle, and now Louisville has a chance to score again. Never mind. Give it right back on another turnover. Guys, I get it's the season of giving, but you had the ball there. I would have easily made it a 4-score game right there. Like, well, it's not really that easy, but at the same time, come on, man. Going with a short pass here, and he threw it at the ground. Bad pass from back there. Short play, flag on the play. And if that's roughing, I'm declining that, bro. Oh, I should have accepted that because it... Whatever. My mind just absolutely slipped for a minute. There's a nice run there. So far, Louisville's doing the same thing they did to Boise State, giving them one touchdown and that's it. If you're Georgia, you got to score while you have time. You can't let the same situation that happened to Boise State happen to you as that's knocked away. You got to score. His own teammate almost cost him there. He throws a short pass for a gain of 2, 3rd and 8. Beck. Looking. Got to get rid of it, and he does. And that's intercepted by Louisville. And returned all the way to his own 48-yard line. And that is incomplete. That definitely was on the QB. There's no reason you should throw that bad of a pass right there. That should have easily been a first down. And I think Isaac Brown's getting a little fatigue because he's not making the same plays he usually does, as that was a loss of 4. Fourth and 5 or less. The statistics say go for it. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Now, you only need 5 yards. I would not heave this downfield if I was you, Louisville. Oh, they're not going to even get 5 yards. They got maybe 3 at most. That's not a bad decision by Louisville, though. I mean, it's still great field position for Georgia as he's going to chuck one downfield. It is caught. What a catch for a touchdown for the Bulldogs. Okay, so if you're Louisville, you just basically gave up a costly play there, right? I mean, you went for it on 4th. It didn't work. Beck heaves it from the exact yard line your man was stopped at to the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown. And now it's a 2-score game again. So, fun fact, Georgia will not allow the same thing Boise State allowed. They will at least get another touchdown, and there's still plenty of time for them to score more. But if you're Louisville and you can't score anymore, you're going to have to hold them. That's exactly what's going to have to happen here. You're going to have to hold them. Takes the snap. Short pass incomplete. Intended for Redmond. Hand this off to Shaney. And he's got a first down. Short pass. There it is, 2nd and 1. Shaney has stopped, loss of 3, 3rd and 4. Well, Georgia is used to playing teams in the ACC, as their rival, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, play in the ACC. But they're usually used to winning those games, and right now they're not exactly winning this game. They haven't led at all in this game. And they're just looking for ways to potentially get stops. That's a good one right there. Stopped them at the line of scrimmage. But they're just looking for ways to get stops so they could potentially come back and win this thing. Because 2 touchdowns puts you in the lead, or a touchdown and field goal ties the game up. And look at that, right back at the line of scrimmage again. 2 plays, they stop them at the line of scrimmage. And they decide to pass to him, and it's knocked away. The defense has locked in for Georgia. And Louisville has decided to go for it again. Last time they didn't get it. They throw an interception this time. They don't get it again, which results in a fumble. And that is not the first time we have seen that today. If you're Georgia and you want to win this game, you got to stop shooting yourselves in the foot. And right there, the same guy picks him off in one play, takes the ball right back. And it's the same with Louisville. They're shooting themselves in the foot right now. They had their foot on the accelerator. Was up 24-7. They allowed a touchdown. And so far, Beck has a shot to come back and win this thing. He's going to heave it to the end zone again. Knocked away. Beck is sacked. 3rd and 21. Hit as he threw it, incomplete. Alright, if you're Louisville and you get to 4th down and it's not a few yards away from the first down, I'm punting it here. From now on, punt the ball. That's almost like a Dan Campbell kind of thing. Lions are great, but sometimes costly decisions aren't. And that's intercepted again by the Bulldogs. The defense has heated up for the Bulldogs. This is where you're going to have to hold the Bulldogs. I imagine that if you cannot score another touchdown or a field goal in this game, you got to stop them. You got to lock in on defense. They allow 6 yards on first down. Here's Beck. Going to send it to the end zone again. That is knocked away and incomplete. Beck obviously likes the deep touchdown passes. Now he's going to go short pass here. He went the wrong way for a minute. ETN is stuffed. I think he lost 2 yards, and he did. Alright, so if you're Louisville, I think you go back to the running game. Start running the ball again, because they're expecting you to pass it, and that has led to 2 straight drives where you're throwing interceptions. Actually, 3 straight drives, because they threw the interception, got the fumble, and then he threw an interception 1 play later. Shaney, there it is. Approaching the end of the 3rd quarter here. So far, we've only seen a touchdown and field goal. Touchdown coming from Georgia, field goal coming from Louisville. Can Louisville drive the field and score again? Alright, I would run QB sneak here. I think that's the best shot to get this first down. They do. And they get it. And they're going to burn a timeout here. I like that call. Burn a timeout. Try to score before you enter the 4th quarter. Don't heave it downfield and risk throwing an interception, but try to score before the 4th quarter. Shaney gets him closer. Gonna have to be quick with this. They leave a receiver wide open deep downfield. He's out of bounds. hit and sacked, and they're going to burn another timeout. That might cost them late in the game, but we'll see. Do you go the same play you did to get down that far downfield? That is intercepted again. 4 straight drives. He tries to lateral it back. He didn't like the way the defenders were, or I guess the offensive players turned defenders were charging him. He tried to lateral it back to his teammate, and his teammate wasn't there. Watch this again. That's a big takeaway for Starks. And then, I guess it didn't show it. And then he really didn't want to get hit, and he tries to lateral it back. And Louisville's going to call their last time. I don't know if I like this. Unless if they're cooking something up here. But that could potentially be unfortunate for both Louisville and Georgia. That is intercepted again in the end zone. Going to the fourth quarter, the Bulldogs have it 1st and 10 at their own 20. When are these picks going to stop? Show was putting on a show until he wasn't. 24-14, Louisville hangs on to the lead, but if you're the Cardinals coach, do you pull Show from the game? Or do you forgive him for the mistakes against a team like this? I think you really only do that if they win. ETN, you got good news for Louisville is they got their defense. The defense has the team on the back right now. They've allowed Georgia to score no touchdowns since that one big one. And they haven't really let ETN run much. Some would say it's not even fair. Got to get it out quick. He does to ETN. Diving for it. He fumbles the ball. It is recovered by Georgia for the first down. That is the craziest first down I've ever seen in my life. Hit as he threw it. That was right to ETN. ETN could have turned around and caught that and advanced it. I mean, it wasn't. I don't think it was intended for ETN, but he could have easily caught that. Deep shot and knocked away. Incomplete. Georgia knows its season is essentially on the line, and they're punting again. Well, technically, that's for every team in these playoffs. Their season is on the line. You lose, you're out. It's just like it was when it was only 4 teams. They're letting Show stay in the game. Isaac Brown back in the game, only gain of 1 there. And it's a fumble recovered by Louisville, but it's a loss, 3rd and 17. Hit as he threw it, incomplete. You got to punt here. And they do. Gets the punt. Returns it to his own 47, and that's where Georgia will take over 1st and 10. Georgia's just got to find a way to take advantage of what's going on with Louisville. They're in a slump since scoring that field goal. The defense is locking in for Louisville, but you got to find a way around that if you're Georgia. Deep to the end zone. Knocked away. Great defense. That is caught for the first down. And if you do give up a touchdown if you're Louisville here, or a field goal, that's when you're really going to want to lock in on defense. Hit as he threw it again. 2nd and 10. That is intercepted. Is this what Louisville needed? He's going to return it all the way. It's the 2nd pick 6 for the Cards this game. 68 yards for Nicholson. 30-14 Louisville. That is what the defense needed. They had done everything but that in the second half. The extra point is good. It's going to be good anyway. It's just going to be roughing the kicker. Alright, I'll be up in a minute. Alright, we will return this kick, and then we gotta go eat real quick, so we'll be back. Bulldogs to return the kick. They have to score a touchdown now. Alright, so when we come back, it'll be 1st and 10 Georgia at their own 9-yard line with 7:32 to go in regulation. Don't go anywhere. Alright, I am back finally. Dinner was good, and I imagine 0 watching. I imagine that probably would happen. Alright, so 31-14 Louisville. This one might be over for Georgia unless they can get something going. Sends it out, and that's intercepted. To the end zone. Back-to-back pick sixes for Louisville. Griffin with the 13-yard pick six. And Louisville has potentially just put away Georgia. And Georgia calls the timeout. I like this right here. Call the timeout. Figure out what went wrong. You know, get your quarterback's mind straight. Possibility you could still come back. We saw Oregon State put 41 points in the fourth quarter and almost come back after trailing most of the game, and that's incomplete. They tried going for 2. So, yeah. Things ain't looking great for the Bulldogs right now. The 1 seed about to be the 0 seed. And if you're the other teams that received the first round bye, I think I'd be scared right now if I was you, especially some of these teams like Central Michigan blowing out Penn State. I'd be scared if I was UCF. And that is incomplete. Trevor Etienne did not turn around. He was unable to make the reception, and that brings up 3rd and 10. Trying to hurdle, and he's brought down. Louisville trying to knock Georgia out of the playoff, and they deny them on 4th down. With 7 minutes to go in regulation. I think this one might be already over, but I think another touchdown for sure puts this one out of reach for the Bulldogs. Just an unfortunate ending to the season. Unless if they play in Oregon State, and what happened there? Taken down all the way back to the 37, 3rd and 20. Get the snap off, fires, pass is caught. He's going to pick up more yards, and he's going to get a touchdown on 3rd and 20. Are you kidding me? 43-14, the score now for Louisville. And again, they're calling a 2-point attempt. They said they probably should have just kicked the PAT last time. And they probably should have just kicked it that time as well. "30 seconds. It's all it took them to score. This game is well over with now. I don't think Georgia's dropping enough touchdowns to stay alive in this one, but there's a nice play there. While you're getting smoked, you gotta try to find ways to take that smoke down a little bit, right? I mean, make it a little more respectable. That nice play will set that up for perfection. That one is incomplete. And the next bowl game up at 7:30 p.m. is the Sugar Bowl between Central Michigan and UCF. And then Tuesday afternoon and evening, Tuesday afternoon, we will have number 8 UConn taking on number 3 Michigan. And then in primetime, we have number 12 James Madison taking on number 2 San Jose State. UConn 11-1 after not the big win, but hanging on to beat Oregon State after almost allowing them to come back to 11-1, and then Michigan 11-0 through the regular season. They received the first round bye. They're hoping to become 12-0, and for James Madison, they're 12-0 after beating Navy 73-6 in the first round. San Jose State 11-0 after receiving the first round bye. Did as he threw it, incomplete. Going to the end zone. Oh, incomplete. Well, if you're a Cardinals fan, it's like last week. You're loving this game, but if you're a Bulldogs fan, not so much. Also, we are a few months away from the NFL Summer League kicking off. First weekend in February, or the first Thursday in February, will be the Hall of Fame game. The Kansas City Chiefs take on the Green Bay Packers. That will be over on NBS TV. That's intercepted. A quick pick six here for Georgia. Yes. Going for two. That is intercepted. (43-20) the score now. Georgia just getting abused in this game, and whoa, that is not a very good kick. That's going to be a penalty.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
That comes to their own 41-yard line, and they could just really run this clock out now. There's Isaac Brown with the rush. Takes the snap. To Shaney. 3rd and 4. Oh, he got it off in time. Well, he got hit as he got it off. And it's incomplete. And they're going to risk a turnover on downs to go for this to try to close out this game. I like the call. And they pick up the first down, too. That was an even better call from Louisville. So how about this? The Cardinals take down the 1-seed Bulldogs. And as long as UCF loses to Central Michigan tonight, Louisville will host the Cotton Bowl in the playoff semifinals. That's another first down. Keep racking those up. I would save plenty of room to get a first down after the 2-minute warning, because you're going to need at least one first down to be able to go into victory formation. You can go into victory formation with 1:13 on the clock. That is intercepted. And I think he knocked it out. He did, they're saying. Shaney trying to rack up some extra yards there. That is a first down. Shaney caught it. You're going to have to snap it one more time before the 2-minute warning. Alright, now you can just let it go to the 2-minute warning. That's probably what they're going to do. You have the time. You got about 10 seconds separating the play clock from the game clock. And I imagine they're not going to snap it here. They don't, so we reach the 2-minute warning, 43-20. Now you have to pick up the first down. On 2nd and 7, they don't get it. It's 3rd and 3. As long as you get under 40 seconds. Oh, 4th and 5. You could go for the 34-yard field goal try. I think they're going to go short pass to try to go victory formation. He's not going to get there. He's too slow. He got stopped a yard short. And now all Louisville has to do is stop Georgia, and they will be able to go victory formation. That is intercepted. It's going to be a pick six. Griffin with his second of the game. 11 yards. And the 2-point is good to make it a 31-point ball game. ETN's going to try to return this. All right, assuming it's not a pick six again, same scenario here. If Louisville can stop Georgia, they can go victory formation. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Stay tuned for the brief post-game show coming up. We're going to recap that crazy touchdown Georgia had. He picks it and dives to the ground. They could go victory formation now. If they want to, they're not going to. Not yet, at least. I think they're going to try to pick up this first down and then go victory formation. Alright, so you got to try to get as close to that first down as you possibly can to go victory formation, and they lose yardage. I'm not running it again. I'm telling you that right now. Two straight failed runs. I'm not running it again. Show. Hit as he was getting ready to throw it. Fourth and 18. He's got it. And Georgia elects to call a timeout here. I probably would have just let the clock expire. You hear MVP being shouted in the stadium. For show. He's in for a touchdown. (57-20). They decide to not do victory formation. Lacey can't get in. So it's only a 37-point ball game. That is just abuse, though. ETN's going to call a fair catch here, see if they can score one more time to make it a 30-point game. Having it deep, incomplete. 9 seconds to go. That is intercepted. He's going to dive at the ground. And this time, I'm going victory formation. Guys, go victory formation this time. You don't need to score any more points. And they do. They're going to go victory formation here. This will end it. Even though we already knew it was over. The Louisville Cardinals have won the Fiesta Bowl and are going to the college football playoff semifinals. And they eliminate the number 1 seed, Georgia Bulldogs, to do it. 57-20 the final. Griffin, the senior, he's the player of the game. 3 interceptions, 3 deflections, and 2 defensive touchdowns. Like we said, stay tuned for this brief post-game show. Louisville 13-0 though. How about that? Georgia falls to 11-1 on the season. After a great regular season, Louisville is the first team to punch their ticket to the semifinal round of the playoff. And so far, the first 2 teams Louisville has played in the in the playoff, has not been easy for them to play. And they still went out there and put on a show. They blew out Boise State and Georgia. And are 1 game away from playing for a national championship. What a team this is. 57-20 is the final here. I'm not sure why it says 56-14, but it is 57-20. Louisville and the 7th seed team is moving on to the semifinals. We got less than an hour and a half before kickoff of the next game, so let's take a look at the highlights. Let's go first quarter. First highlight, 7:36 to go. Back to Lovett for 76 yards. This was a nice deep pass here. And this is where that's where he got down inside the 5, but then Louisville, great job defending that and getting the stop they needed. And the next one comes with 1:56 to go in the first. Isaac Brown's going to rush 2 yards for a touchdown. .27 seconds to go. Beck's going to be intercepted by Perry. This would be the first defensive touchdown for Louisville in the game. There it is. He is gone. Let's go second quarter now. First highlight. 5:57 to go. Brooks is going to recover a fumble for no yards. This is where Georgia intercepted the ball and Louisville knocked it out and recovered it. And next highlight. There's no more in the second quarter, so we go to the third quarter for the next highlight. Carson Beck, Adrian Smith, 55-yard touchdown. I think this is that one where We were wondering if his... Nope, this is not the one we were wondering if his foot was down, but that was a great touchdown catch there. That was with 4:31 to go in third. 2:41 to go. Beck's going to get sacked for an 11-yard loss. Another great defensive play by the Cards. Then we go to the fourth and final quarter. 7:44 to go. Beck's going to get intercepted by Nicholson for a touchdown. Another defensive touchdown for the Cards here. Boom. There it is. Gone. Smith unable to chase him all the way down to prevent the touchdown. Then we go 7:32 to go. Beck's going to be intercepted by Griffin for a touchdown. 2 plays into another drive. 3rd and 20 on the Georgia 37 with 6:37 to go. Show is going to pass to Brooks for a 37-yard touchdown. Nice pass there. Boom. And Brooks takes off. 4:57 to go. Show gets intercepted by Everett for a Georgia Bulldogs touchdown. This would make it. This would give Georgia 20 points on the board. .126 to go. Beck's going to be intercepted by Griffin for another touchdown. And this is where they could have went into victory formation. Well, that's a drive where they could have got to stop, went into victory formation. They intercept them, pick 6 easily. 3 seconds. Show just goes down to a knee, and that's all she wrote. 57-20 was the final here. That was that. Let's look at the passing stats for the quarterbacks. But first, let's look at this. So, first downs. Louisville won the first down challenge with 30. Georgia only had 14. Total offensive yards, 483 for the Cards, 387 for the Bulldogs. Rushes, yards, and touchdowns. That was also won by the Cards, 73, 101, and 2. And we had 16 rushes for negative 15 yards and no touchdowns for the Bulldogs. They kept ETN out of the end zone. That is good. The Cards averaged 1.4 yards per rush, while Georgia, negative 0.9. Completions, attempts, and touchdowns. Louisville, 34, 58, and 2. Georgia, 28, 71, and 1. That is going to really shoot you in the foot. Yards per pass, 6.6 for the Cards, while it's only 5.7 for the Bulldogs. But look at this. The Bulldogs win the passing yards percentage. 382 for the Cards. The Bulldogs get 402. Third down conversions, 12 for 30, 40% for the Cards. And they win it because Georgia went 3 for 19, a 15%. On fourth down, it was 50%, 6 for 12 for the Cards. 1 for 5 and 20% for the Bulldogs. 2-point conversions. Cards 1 out of 4, 25%, while it was 0 for 1 and 0% for the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs only beat Louisville in passing yards in this game. And with that, we say so long, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you enjoyed the Central Michigan UCF game coming up later. Who is going to play the Cards in the Cotton Bowl? You'll find out later tonight. So long, everybody. 57-20. Cardinals moving on.